morning and happy Monday, and welcome to another Money Morning Routine. This week is a very big week. Not only am I counting my fives that I've saved for my $5 challenge tomorrow, I'm also going to attempt to close out my budget tomorrow just because with New Year's, I'm not sure if the banks are going to be open on Wednesday. And I'm trying to get updated with my spending and everything, getting ready to do that close out. And geez, the new year and all the things. It's just all the things. So here's what I have going on. So I'm in my December month here in my small size planner. Not usually more of my checking account expense tracker is filled out, but because I was gone for 12 days out of the month in Switzerland, not a lot happening on my checking account expense tracker. Now, I did promise that I was going to share my spending from Switzerland. I am still going through the spending from my credit card on that. So I know I promised it was going to happen today, but I think I'm going to be doing that tomorrow on my Money Morning Routine. And tomorrow I'll be counting my fives on my Instagram. So make sure you follow me over on Instagram for all the other things that I have going on. It's really the platform where I'm sharing most of my helpful content. So let's go ahead and look at this. So here you can see I had one transaction that looks a little different, that is out of the norm. A Tire-Rama for a car purchase for $112. I finally got around to putting my snow tires on. So I switched between a summer tire and a snow tire on my rims. It's better for me in the winter, even though my car is all-wheel drive. It's just better for me in the winter to have the siped tires for winter just because it gets quite icy here. So that's the only transaction that really came out, and my YouTube TV. So let's go over to my budget for December. YouTube TV at $91.54, which means I need to update my budget because it has increased in price. It was at $83, now it's at $91.54. I feel like all these streaming services are just increasing their prices on everything. So I need to correct that going forward to be around 92. So $91.54, that was the last of my bills, okay? Everything has come out. This is also part of the closing out process, even though it's a really small step that gets overlooked. Once all of your bills come out, okay, and if you are a cash spender like me, like I spend cash for everything for my variable spending except gas. I think, it may be true. I actually might need to get gas today. So if that's the case, then gas would also be coming out of here, dropping me just below my $1,000 mark for my checking account cushion. But the reason this is a closeout process is because you need to track and be fully updated with your spending, meaning all of your fixed expenses should have come out for the month that you have written down in your budget, as well as all of your variable spending should be updated. So let's talk about variable spending very quickly. I still have the full $50 in my household cash envelope, and look at a mess. I went and did some food, mostly eating out. I've been thinking about my word, and I'll be sharing it on Instagram. I think I found out my word, and I was juggling between one of the words literally I was thinking about was something to do with not eating out, because eating out has really been a big part of our life just because of how busy our schedules have gotten. It's not an excuse. You plan and you spend time on priorities and the things that matter. I should make what we're eating and putting in our bodies more of a priority, because I feel like when you make food decisions last minute, you're eating out, you are then spending one on more of impulse and convenience and reaction rather than intention. And I always try to flip that switch and spend on intention and not reaction. So I really want to get back on the meal planning bandwagon starting January 1st. And so that is one of my goals, but that's not my word. My word is something else. I'll be sharing that on Instagram come January. But okay, so let's go back over here to my expense tracker really fast. So if we go back to my expense tracker, let's go ahead and get updated with my cash spending. Okay, so bring out this mess. We have a yolks purchase. We have a Oh goodness, McDonald's purchase. We have another yolks purchase. Okay, so really only McDonald's was eating out. That's not too bad. All right, so let's count how much cash we have left. Exactly $100 left. So let's go ahead and write that down. So $100 left to spend. All right, so for yolks, I have a yolks ticket here for $12.29, a McDonald's for $12.28, and a yolks for $12.27. So $12.27 yolks. And it looks like here for yolks, I spent $36 if I'm rounding up. So minus 36 gives me $4.35 to spend. Next one is McDonald's on $12.28. And you can see I spent $37 there. So, okay, so that $3.98. And then on $12.29 yolks. Okay, and for yolks, I spent the $2.98. So minus $2.98. Okay, giving me the $100 left to spend. Now, though, I did see something very important here. I'm still doing my challenge, so let's go ahead and pull out the two fives that I saw. 5 and a 5. So that's $10 towards my $5 challenge. That's just going to be going in my $5 challenge jar. So let's go ahead and write that down. So today is $12.30, $5 challenge. Minus 10 leaves me $90 to spend for food. So that has been done. Let's go ahead and get this updated on my expense tracker. Okay, so $10. See, even I scribble and white out and all the things. Don't be afraid to make mistakes in your workbook. That's what it's there for. All right, so I'm going to scan all these into my Fetch Rewards. I'm going to put these into my $5 challenge jar. My food envelope has been fully updated. Now remember, part of the closing out process, if you have any cash left in your cash envelopes, if you're using the cash envelope method, you have to decide what you want to do with your cash before going on to your next tracking period. So when I'm closing out my budget, I'm going to go through my cash envelopes, look at the cash I have left, and decide what to do with it, and make sure I log and write that down in my expense tracker. So for example, this money will probably go towards my 100 envelope challenge. So I would need to write a line item here saying 100 envelope challenge. It's a savings category for me, and write the amount down. It needs to be tracked. So that got that updated. Now, this is the small size workbook that I'm using this year. I'm going to bring over very quickly. This is the full size version that I'm going to be using in 2025. Couple of things that I did. Now I know I showed you, I don't know if I showed you actually my January full budget, some changes. Now all of my savings goals are going to be online transfers to different savings accounts. I'm no longer saving cash. And then with the exception of my homestead for $100 for hay, I do pay for hay in cash. So we have a little homestead cash envelope here at the house we keep in the safe where that money is stored. Another big change is I'm going all cashless except for my food purchases starting in January. I got a lot of questions and requests to show what it looks like to track when you are cashless. I'm going to be showing that in January. You can see the only things I'm pulling out for cash is food for $900 and that hay purchase. That's it. So those are the big things. Also, I need to go in and YouTube TV. I need to increase that to 92 because that's just what happened. Another big change is starting in 2025, I will be increasing my income. I used to do $6,200 in 2024. In 2025, this will actually end up being $8,200 by the end of the year. So it's increasing by $1,000 in the beginning of the year and $1,000 more towards the end or middle of the year. This is just to remember I have mentioned before that Chris is now really staying home to watch Dante so I can work. okay, I am the breadwinner. I'm the one that is working in my family. Chris is staying home to watch Dante. That was a family and personal decision we made. With that, we had to decide what we were going to do with losing his income. Now, increasing my income by $2,000 doesn't even begin to cover the amount of money we lost from his income, because Chris was topped out as a UPS driver making over $85,000 a year. He's only working just enough to keep the full-time benefits. So at UPS, you can work part-time and keep the full-time benefits, which is really nice. Their benefits are 100% worth it. So, but increasing my income by just a few $1,000s and looking, of course, we had to look at how that was going to impact the business and me increasing my income and all of that. So it covers it, the increase enough covers what we need to do to live on. So that's how we're handling that transition. So that is my full Monday morning routine.